to old friend Jerry Coleman. Jerry, good morning. How you doing, man?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Wonderful, Jerry.
I should say Jerry Coleman of the Be More Sports podcast. We'll get to that in a little bit. But for now, the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, we know this rough stretch that he finds himself in. It's been no touchdowns in 3 weeks. Accuracy way off against Cincinnati. A little immobile at times in recent weeks. So we posed the question today, should he run more against the Steelers? Pittsburgh can't stop a nosebleed when it comes to the run game. Lamar, you would think he's still a threat with his legs, but where are you at on him running the ball right now?
I'm going to answer it the way Lamar would. I just can't call it right now. I just can't call it. No, he should. I mean, listen, I thought he should have run against the Bengals, being the worst or second worst run defense, second to last in the NFL. He didn't. He's been tentative, and I think the injuries have a lot to do with that, where he has had opportunities multiple times to take off and run, and he just hasn't done it. So will he do it against Pittsburgh? I just hope they run the ball a lot more than they did last week against the Bengals. We all heard Coach Harbaugh's explanation. And honestly, it made more sense after I went back and, looked at the stat sheet, more than the stat sheet, I should say, the play-by-play. Yeah, I mean, when you turn the ball over 5 times and have a small limited time of possession, that obviously will limit the amount of chances you have to rush the football. But for me, it was the usage. And Rasheen Ali, I don't know what he was doing out there with more snaps than Derrick Henry or Keaton Mitchell.
Now, Jerry, you going out today?
Yes.
Okay, I need you to ask Harbs this, and it can be your question.
Well, I ask questions on command, so you just text it to me.
Okay, because the question because I watched the Pittsburgh Ravens playoff game from last year, where Lamar ran it 18 times, and Henry for 81 yards. And Henry ran, 26 times for 180 yards. But the biggest thing is, the question that I would have to Harbs is John, 4 of the 5 of the O-linemen are the exact same. And watching that game and watching your O-line, it's like poetry in motion. The continuity and the consistency and the staying on their feet. And then you put on the film now, and what happened?
You know how he's going to not answer that. We know that's their weakness, and they have no legit pass rush. And For me, that goes back to Eric more so than John, because he assembled the team. But the offensive line is holding this team back, and it's going to hold it back if they get to the postseason. I mean, they haven't passed the eye test for me. I don't think any fan can say they put together a full 60 minutes of football that makes you think they can make a run in the postseason. They haven't done it no matter who the opponent is. And the Steelers can say the same things about themselves.
But, Jared, here's the thing that is amazing is like Rosengarten sucks compared to last year. Last year at the end of the season, Jared, he was good. Falele was alternate to the Pro Bowl, and he played well last year. Linderbaum was a Pro Bowler. He's playing bad. Voorhees, you'd like my analogy, Jared. He likes making love to the ground, And then Ronnie's Ronnie. I mean, how can they all be playing so poorly?
I don't. Well, it goes to the offensive line coach, I would think. He has to be under scrutiny because you're right. It's the same cast minus McCurry from last year.
Right.
Altogether. And they haven't done a good job in protecting Lamar. They haven't opened up the running lanes for the running backs. And they've made life terrible for the offense. What they did against, the Bengals was nauseating, to be honest. And, that's why the fans are very upset on both sides. But it's still the Steelers and the Ravens, and I was just looking. They're bringing Tony Romo and Jim Nance into town to call this game, the A-team. So it's still the rivalry that everyone thinks is, like the old days, except it's not.
Exactly. We're actually going to get to that in the next segment here because I'm with you. Nowhere close to what this rivalry once was, and with everything on the line Sunday, I just still don't feel that juice. But over to the defense here, talking to Jerry Coleman, of course, the Window Nation fan guest hotline here. That performance against the Bengals defensively, did you see enough there to fully feel comfortable with where this defense is at? Because really, they've been delivering results since the bye week, but the best quarterback they played in that span was, Caleb Williams, and everyone else was.
No, I don't feel that great. I mean, listen, they did a terrific job in the first half. in limiting the Bengals to a bunch of field goals. But they gave up touchdowns on 3rd and long, 2 of them, I believe. And I haven't seen signs that they're improving. And they allowed Joe Burrow with a bad toe to run out of the pocket multiple times. And Coach Harbaugh addressed that on Monday. He was surprised at Joe Burrow's mobility. So they finally faced a good quarterback. And now they're going to face a broken-down Aaron Rodgers. So I'm not sure how to evaluate that, Nolan. But it didn't make me feel too comfortable watching them lose to Joe Burrow once again after he hadn't played in weeks, but looked like, he was just coming off playing the prior week seamlessly.
Yeah, Jerry, you know which one bothered me the most is like you, as bad as you played, as bad as the offense was and the mistakes they were making, Keaton Mitchell, they make it 19-14. You got the momentum. You got the crowd into it. And then you let them go all the way down for a touchdown, and that was the end of the game.
They have done a terrible job of trying to motivate and inspire their crowd and keep them, going and cheering in these football games. They're 3-4 at home this year, Vinny, and there's a possibility they could be 3-5 with the loss here, which is, astonishing considering the roster they had and the expectations we had. But you had fans leaving that game at halftime for sure. Most were gone in the third quarter, going to digest their Thanksgiving dinner. We didn't hear the fire John Harbaugh chants like we heard fire Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, but who knows? That could come this week if things don't go well.
Jared, is your expectation? I'm expecting Lamar to practice today because I think he's gonna be running it double-digit times, and I expect him to practice today.
He better practice today, Vinny. It doesn't seem like Harbaugh is really thrilled about him missing a day each week, especially with the way he's been playing the last 3 games without a TD. The inaccuracy, the tentativeness in terms of running. He needs to practice, especially today. Today's the biggest practice they have of the week, as you know. They installed a game plan today. So, him missing Wednesdays is a major situation. I think fans think that he gets a Veterans Day off on Wednesday. Those are reserved for Fridays for most people.
Talking to Jerry Coleman here on the Window Nation Fan Guest Hotline. Some other injury news this week. 2 guys coming off IR, Tavius Robinson, Ardarius Washington. Now, we know Robinson, he's going to play here soon enough, but for Ardarius, only 6 or 7 months removed from that Achilles tear. Do you really have any expectations for this guy the rest of 2025?
Not really. I mean, let's see how he does in terms of practicing. He was seen on the practice field going through workouts with the trainers in mid-November, but there's been no timeline. I mean, except the projected November or December return date. So I expect that he's going to play at some point this year, and they could use him. He's a hard hitter playing out there in the secondary. Alohi Gilman has done a great job, but he just helps strengthen the secondary. So having him and Robinson back can only help this defense.
He's Jerry Coleman. He is Jerry Coleman of the Be More Baseball and Be More Football podcast. Jerry, let the people know where they can listen.
Well, the Be More Sports Pod is where you find both podcasts. Baseball just wrapped up with Rick Dempsey, Mike Bordick, and yours truly. Football, it's Mike Preston and I. We take Todd Monken and Lamar to task for their miscues. I have a lot to say about this matchup with the Steelers and why the AFC North is suddenly so weak. So it's a preeminent Ravens podcast for Ravens fans or Orioles fans out there. You can listen or watch it at Be More Sports Pod, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. It's one word, Be More Sports Pod. So, Vinny, send me that question. I'll make sure Harbs gets it.
Yeah. Did you win today playing tennis, Jer?
Yes. My partner and myself beat 2 people over the age of 65 in 3 sets. So we were very proud of our effort.
Strength of schedule. Very much in question here. All right, Jerry. Appreciate the time, man.
All the drop shots. I don't know why they get upset with the drop shots.
Well, at least you don't have to shower after those kind of games.
Well, I always thought you were better on the.
Actually, I do.
You were better on the clay, right? You're more of a clay guy.
Yes, more finesse on the clay. And I'm still waiting for 105.7 The Fans, Jeremy Kahn, to take me up on my challenge. It's been 2 years waiting to play this guy. He's come up with a litany of excuses. So if you see him, tell him I'm ready.
I was still producing for you when that started. So I think it's been longer than that. It might be like 5 years.
So, yeah, it definitely has been a long wait.
All right, Jerry. Appreciate the time,
Thanks,
man.
Jerry.
We'll catch up soon.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep.
All right, there he goes. Coming up next, Jerry kind of teased it there for us. I like the topic. We wanted to get to this in the first hour, but we'll do it here. Ravens-Steelers, not the same rivalry anymore. I mean, I'm going to say as much. It just doesn't have that juice. It doesn't have that feel. I know both teams are kind of mediocre right now, but even still, just doesn't feel the same. Want to get your thoughts. 410-583-1057 if you want to talk about that. You want to talk about Lamar running. Get into all of that coming up next.
After Vinny and Haney, it's Inside Access.
We'll be broadcasting live from Seco Arena, the Towson Tigers.